You should really close that closet behind you. It scares me. I think Brandon left it open one day.
God damn!
Ah! Why is it like that? That's perfect, like, choking
Yeah.
length.
Feel like I could see a little hand come out, like...
Little leprechaun hand?
Yeah.
Fuck that shit.
Old lady bones.
It's the stuff of my nightmares.
Yeah. That's better.
Thanks for the warning. My
You're welcome.
gosh. How long have I been sitting here already?
Weeks.
I could have died so many times.
You could have. Especially in this house.
Oh, man. Seriously.
Welcome to episode 41.
Woo! And guess what, guys? We're pre-recording now because I am on baby watch.
Yeah, you are. You're about to pop a baby out any day now. Especially, this one comes out on the 23rd.
Yep.
You might have a kid.
I might have a kid by then. I'm due the 5th of July. But listen, I went to the doctor and the doctor's like, any day.
Oh my God.
Yeah, my body's ready to push this kid out.
You poor fucking soul. Get ready for that.
Yeah, so if we're a little behind on current events, because we're so in the know on current events, if we're a little behind, we apologize. We're trying to stay ahead of it so that you guys have uninterrupted listening pleasure.
Yeah.
While I push a baby out my vajaz.
Vajaz.
I don't know why I called it that. I've literally never once called it a vajaz.
Oh my God.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Well, don't worry. You're going to do great.
I'm going to do great. I've done it before. I could do it again.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
You got doctors. Just remember, say yes to the epidural.
Instantly.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as you start to feel it. They'll be like,
Yeah.
ma'am, that wasn't even a contraction.
I'm like, I might have to poop or I had a contraction. I'm not sure.
I would like to not know.
Please get rid of it now. Yeah, definitely learned my lesson.
Yeah, you were silly last time.
Fuck contractions.
Yeah,
I can almost guarantee you, though, I'm going to do the same shit where I'm going to hold out as long as I can and then get it.
it's ridiculous.
I know, but I think it's because I feel like I held out so long last time that by the time I got the epidural, I didn't care. I didn't feel it. It was a beautiful thing and it was great.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, if I go too early, I'm going to be like, I mean, I don't really need it yet. I'm being a little dramatic.
Yeah, I don't know. As soon as I succumbed to the epidural, where I was like, okay, yes, now,
Uh-huh.
it was like a, why isn't it in me yet?
Yeah,
Like,
mine was too.
Okay, why hasn't the pain stopped?
Okay, Erin, give me your goddamn.
I will. Mine actually happened on
Friday.
Friday. That's right. That's how you're supposed to remind me of what my goddamn was. Happened on Friday. Brandon was like, I'm going to go to my buddy's house to play pool and whatever. And I was like, do you, deuces, don't care, bye.
Yeah.
Like,
Have fun.
I'm not a jealous or like, oh, you left me, anything like that. I'm like,
Yeah, no, we take turns.
yeah, go, have fun. I'm going to be editing or whatever. Actually, I
Uh-huh.
think I was researching that night. So
Uh-huh.
I was reading about murder all fucking night.
All alone.
All alone in my house with Carl and Hank, my two main men, my
Yeah.
dogs.
Yeah.
And then I was ready to go to bed,
Uh-huh.
and it was like 11:30 or so.
Uh-huh.
Then I crawl into bed, and it's all dark, and I'm laying in bed, and I'm just on Reddit then.
Trying to make happy things happen in your brain.
No, I wasn't. I was
Ugh.
reading about, like, what's the most terrifying thing that's ever happened to you if you live out in a rural area? And I
Oh,
was like,
God.
I'll read this thread.
Yeah. That's a great idea.
So then it was all like, oh, well, one time a guy was fucking staring in my window, my back window
Oh,
for,
no.
you know, like random shit like that. And so I was reading all of that, and I was like, I should really stop. And then I heard someone walking on my porch, and I was like, I wonder if Brandon's home.
Yeah.
And so I waited, and then there was nothing, and then there was fucking man sounds again. Like,
What?
like a man was walking, like, down the hallway, it sounded like. But, like,
In your house?
yeah, but no one was inside. I know no one was inside.
Oh,
So
my
I'm like,
God.
okay, I'm tripping out, right?
Yeah.
The dogs were both in my bedroom with me.
Yeah.
Not a sound. Like, I'm just losing my mind, right?
Okay.
And then it happened a third time
No.
where it sounded like there was a fucking person. Like, and it was a heavy footsteps
Yeah.
of, like, walking around my house. And then Carl and Hank both went fucking bananas.
Oh, my God. No.
And I was like, nope, fuck this. I'm like, I don't know what to do. So obviously I can't sleep now. And
Yeah.
I'm like, shot up in bed. And Carl had gone to the front porch and was like barking at, I don't know what.
Oh, you let them out of the room?
Well, he, like, I didn't have it closed. So
Okay.
Carl just ran out of the room.
Okay.
And I mean, didn't, like, get shot immediately or anything.
Yeah, yeah.
But he also wasn't doing, like, I see you barks.
Yeah,
you
he was
know?
just, like, barking, like, I heard a noise.
Yeah. And so I'm like, also, I don't want him to bark right there because that's, like, right where my kid's room is.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, keep it safe, but don't wake up the baby.
Exactly. And then I opened the door to the bedroom to, like, look out and be like, are we
Hello?
going to get murdered, Carl?
Yeah, yeah.
And then he looked at me and just, like, came back to the room. And I was like, okay, I'm freaked the fuck out.
Yeah, don't do that shit, man.
Yeah, and Hank was locked in his crate because he's an asshole at night. So.
Yes, so he has to sleep in that.
Yeah, he has to be in the crate. But he was barking from the crate like he had heard whatever it was, too.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and then I text Brandon, and I was like, hey, come home now. I'm scared.
Yeah.
I never do that shit.
Yeah.
I never do that shit because I'm not a pussy, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I read about this shit all the time. I hear about it all the time. I don't jump at every little sound
Yeah,
or
it's
anything
fine.
like that. And also, in reality, if I'm going to die, it's probably better that Brandon's not here. Like, he can, I don't know, carry on the fucking legacy of our family. I don't know.
He could sing your song.
Exactly. Sing my praises to the world. But also, then I wanted him here because I'm like,
I'm not dead yet.
I'm not dead yet, and also I'm not gonna grab the gun. Like,
oh my God, is the murderer in the closet behind me?
maybe.
Hello,
Maybe.
are you in here?
Hello.
Stay in there a little longer till I leave.
Yeah. And then forevermore, because
Oh
don't
shit,
come out of there.
that's terrifying.
Yeah, and then Brandon texted me back and was like, "Are you serious?"
Yeah.
Or he said like really? Do you really want me to? And so I texted him back like all caps, like, "Are you fucking serious right now?"
Yes, I've never once texted you this. I'm
I
scared.
have never once texted you this. Like, why are you not here now? I'm pissed. I got so mad. And then he came home, like, immediately. And there was nothing, nothing shady outside that
It was
we
all
could
fine.
see. Yeah, it was literally nothing. But swear to God, man, fucking man footsteps around my house. And I'm like,
Hell no! Don't you have cameras on the front porch, or you used
no,
to?
not on the front porch anymore.
Oh.
We use them for the bottom room for Carl and the baby.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, we need to get another
Yeah,
camera.
put that shit up again.
Brandon was like, as soon as they go on sale, I'm buying more. I was
Yeah.
like, fucking good.
Please do.
Like, I want that shit all over my house.
That's scary.
Yeah, I was freaked out.
Did you feel better once he got home, or was it still like hard to sleep?
I was still pretty, like,
Yeah.
stock full of adrenaline.
Yeah, that happens to me too. Like when I get spooked or think someone's in the house or anything like that.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if Lee's there or not. I mean, obviously, I'd prefer him to be there because I don't want to die alone. But but it doesn't matter. Like he sleeps through everything, and he doesn't think anything is anything. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll be the one to get us out of this bind.
Yeah, I guess I'll just fucking lure the murderer this way.
Oh my God damn, that's terrifying.
Yeah, I was pretty fucking scared.
Okay, so somebody may or may not still be in the house or was in your house.
Yeah.
Anything
or
missing?
At least on the porch. No, nothing was missing. And the doors were locked and everything. Like, I think that me hearing them inside was, like, my mind playing tricks on me.
Yeah.
And, like, I think maybe it was coming from the porch.
Oh gosh.
Which also, we have birds nesting up there right now.
Yeah.
So, like, maybe they were flapping against the wall. I don't know.
And Carl heard that.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But it sounded like footsteps.
Oh,
I was
gosh.
freaked out.
Yeah. Your house is very distinct too. Like you could hear footsteps. Like,
Yeah, it's a very creaky house.
yeah, like you have levels, so there like the floor isn't like it's like a hollow sound underneath it.
Yeah.
Where my house is like on straight cement, so I'm like, was that the baby gate opening? Like
Yeah.
I have to listen for other clues.
No, literally, Carl walking down the hall sounds like a man is walking down the hall.
Yeah.
Like he's as heavy as a man.
He's
but
probably heavier than most men.
yeah. It's like, I don't know. You can hear, like, you can feel them coming down the hall. It's
Yeah,
like boom,
yeah.
boom, boom, like
Yep.
the bass. It's scary.
Well,
Yeah.
let's
so
hope
was
that
my-
shit doesn't happen again.
Luckily, I'm still here. I'm still
Yeah,
alive,
I'm
everyone, to tell you all about murder.
Glad you made it.
Thank you. Do you have a goddamn for me, Stacey?
I do. Yesterday, my dear son, he has been like hopped up on something lately. I don't know what it is, but he has got some energy. And he always has, but like it's like next level. Like he's sweating and
Oh,
running around.
no.
And I'm like, you're playing by yourself. Like what is going on? Anyway, so he was on that yesterday and he was hopping all around. And we have these like little mini ottomans that are kind of like step stools that he can use to like climb on, and he can see out the window, out our living room window, whatever. Or
Yeah.
he can like stack them and play with them. And he does this all the time. He was climbing on one to look out the window, and somehow it slipped out from underneath him. So he biffed it,
Oh, no.
and it flipped upside down, and his back landed on it.
Oh.
So he got, and it has like this wood
Yeah.
like frame that's kind of exposed because they're old and, you know,
Yeah.
the bottom little mesh thing that keeps it looking nice is torn off and long gone. But so he got this like big scrape down his back, and it looks kind of like road rash or like a rug burn,
Oh my
that kind of a
God.
scrape. My poor baby. And it's like as long as my hand, maybe.
Oh my God.
And he's fine and everything, but
Yeah.
this is his first like road rash experience, which
Yeah.
that shit sucks.
Yeah, get a little raspberry.
Yeah, it's not like a normal. It feels kind of like a burn, right? Like
Yeah.
how your skin's like oozing clear stuff, and you're
Yeah.
like,
Your
okay.
sheets stick to it.
Yeah. So he's screaming, and I come
Oh.
over, and he's like, you know, we're hugging and everything. And normally he'll like biff it, and if he cries, it's like a second. He's really not
Yeah.
like the most kind of attention seeking he does is like, ooh, I got a boo boo, it's really bleeding, I need a band-aid. And he'll
Yeah.
be like, it's really, really bleeding, and there's no blood. But he's not like crying, sobbing, right?
Yeah.
He was losing his shit.
Aww.
I know, it broke my heart. But here's the worst part.
Mhm.
It went on for hours. Like, I couldn't get him to stop.
Really?
I gave him a popsicle at one point
Yeah.
to, like, you know,
Calm
induce emotional eating to encourage it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I gave him a popsicle, and that helped for a little bit, but even then, he'd be eating it, and then he'd be like, my owie really hurt, and he'd start crying, and
Aw.
it went on for hours, and Lee and I had all these grand ideas for the morning, like, oh, we're going to get all this shit done, and that's what we were doing, is, like, getting ready so that we could head out and go do all these fun things.
Yeah.
But he wouldn't put a shirt on. He didn't want to go anywhere. He didn't want to get in the car. Even when we were like bribing him with like, ooh, we're going to go get a milkshake or we're going to go get a smoothie or whatever. He was like, no, my owie needs to heal before we leave.
Oh.
And he was screaming. Like he would calm down and there would still be tears running down his face. And then out of nowhere, he would just like burst out screaming again.
Poor little guy.
Oh my God, it broke my heart. And it was like the longest owie scenario. I know I'm in for like so many more. All these mothers are like, oh,
I know.
just wait.
Yeah. Wait
But-
till you get a broken arm.
Yeah, I know. No, he's not allowed to break anything.
I know.
Oh my gosh, it broke my heart though. It was the first time that I ever couldn't fix it. Like,
yeah. That mama kisses didn't work.
you know what did work though was I put a bunch of band-aids on it. It took 4 band-aids to cover this thing, and
Oh.
he didn't want them, and he's all about band-aids.
Yeah.
And he did not want them. But once I put them on, I think it helped from like the back of his pants hitting the owie.
Oh.
And so he kind of calmed down, and then we
Yeah.
could put his shirt on. And I was like letting him pick all the shit out. Like he loves wearing his like slippery shark shirt for like water wear, you know, like if you go in
Yeah.
the water.
Yeah.
And so I let him wear that all day yesterday.
Aw.
Poor little guy.
Poor
Anyway,
little
so was
man.
my goddamn. I was like, oh man, he freaking actually like legitimately hurt himself, not just a little bump.
Yeah. Goddamn. Poor little man.
Yeah. And then Lee and I were exhausted. Like,
Yeah.
we had to go do the hospital tour and everything yesterday, and so my parents had to come over, and they took care of the kid from then on, and we
Yeah.
were just like fried because you're
Ugh.
dealing with like a crazy kid.
Yeah. And emotionally fucking
And we had this like big
Distraught.
fun day planned, and it was just like,
not doing any of that.
nope.
Poor little guy.
Yeah. That's my goddamn.
Goddamn.
Yep.
Poor little guy.
I know, my little man.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Let's get this show on the road.
Let's talk about some murder.
Stacey,
Murder.
give me your story.
I will. Here it comes.
Coming at your hat.
Yeah. So my story is about the Hello Kitty murder.
What?
Have you ever heard of this?
No.
I hadn't either. It's fucking weird.
All right. Sounds like it will be already.
This happens in Hong Kong, so you're going to have to bear with me as I say some of these names.
Haha, it's finally you.
Yay! So, Man-Yee was a 23-year-old nightclub hostess in Hong Kong in 1999.
Okay.
Fan was abandoned by her family when she was just a little girl, and so she ended
Aw.
up growing up in a girls' home, which I'm assuming is an orphanage
Okay. Yeah.
of some sort for only girls.
Makes sense.
Once she became a teenager, she had become addicted to drugs and turned to prostitution to support her habit.
Ooh.
Anyway, so while she was living this whole lifestyle of prostitution and drug life and all this shit, she began hanging around with this organized crime syndicate who called themselves the Triad. And it was like 3 guys,
All right.
as far as I could tell, right?
Mhm.
And they were known drug lords and pimps.
Ooh.
So she starts hanging out with them.
Good.
They're
Yeah.
well known in Hong Kong as like these bad guys.
Yeah.
Somewhere along the way, she meets a man and they get married and she gets pregnant. I don't know what order this all happens in, but she ends up having a husband and a son.
Okay.
And once she realizes that she was pregnant, she kicks her drug habit and changes her lifestyle, and she like sobers up for the baby, right?
Good for her.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't know if she already had this job or if she gets a job at a local nightclub to become the hostess and basically making ends meet, right?
Yeah.
This is how she's doing her life. But at this point in time, she's no longer on drugs.
Good.
She runs into this triad, like mob people, pretty often because they frequent her club.
Mm-hmm.
It's not clear if what happens next took place before Fan got married or after, like, and had the baby and everything, or after, because I pieced this together from a lot of different stories and they kind of vary, and none of them really specify the timeline.
Okay.
But at some point, she supposedly steals $4,000 from one of the drug lord's wallets.
Not a good idea.
I think she just stole the wallet entirely and it had $4,000 in it.
Okay.
And supposedly this was to help her pay for her addiction. So I don't know if she relapsed or...
I would say it sounds more like something a drug addict would do.
Yeah, or if it happened prior to her getting sober.
Yeah.
Or what. But at some point, the important thing is she stole this wallet and it had $4,000 in it. And it was one of the drug lords.
Yeah. Ooh, it's a really bad idea.
Super bad idea. The wallet that she stole the money from was the main drug lord guy who went by the name of Chan Man Lok. And he was 34 years old.
Okay.
Or somewhere in his 30s. Might be 32.
Okay.
Anyway, like you were saying, that's not a good idea
No.
to steal from the drug lord. So he gets really pissed, and Fan knows that she fucked up. So she's like, let me return this wallet to this guy.
With the money?
With the money.
Good.
Along with an extra $10,000
Jesus.
as like an apology.
Whoa.
I don't know where she came up with this.
Stole someone else's wallet.
I don't know if he persuaded her to give him the $10,000 as well, or if she just did it out of the kindness of her heart.
Yeah.
But she paid some interest.
Some.
But Chan is still mad, and he says that she owes him 16 more grand
Holy shit.
to pay off the debt, right?
Well, that's... What?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, he's a drug lord.
Yeah,
You're never going to be able to pay off the debt.
I know.
You're
It's
gonna have
not
to-
actually a debt. It's an arbitrary...
Yeah. He's
thought
just
or
coming
number
up
in
with
his head.
numbers. Yeah. So Fan doesn't have the money, and she can't
Obviously.
come up with it.
I don't have the money.
I don't either. I don't even have the $4,000.
Yeah, right?
So Chan decides that he's going to make her pay the money back by making her work as a sex worker.
No.
Yeah, this isn't going to go well.
No, she's a mom.
I know. To a little boy.
I mean, that doesn't really make a difference, but also kind
but
of
it does in
does.
our head.
Yeah.
So Chan enlists the help of his two lynchmen, which were part of that triad, right?
Uh-huh.
Leung Shing Cho, who was 27, and Leung Wei Loon, who was 20.
Okay.
They both have the same first name.
Okay.
And Chan enlists them to go to Fan's house to kidnap her. So on March 17th, 1999, the two men go and kidnap her.
Oh my god, how fucking scary.
I know. And they take her to Chan's apartment, which was weirdly lavishly furnished with Hello Kitty products. Like,
Okay.
he had bed sheets and curtains and towels and kitchen utensils and stuffed animals. Like, everything was this Hello Kitty Sanrio product thing.
Is Hello Kitty expensive? Like, is it like, ooh, check this out, I can afford all this Hello Kitty stuff? Like, you know how Disney stuff is way overpriced?
I think so. Because do you remember Hello Kitty being like a big thing when we were younger?
Yeah.
It was like a huge thing. There was like a Sanrio store at the mall.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I kind of think so. Like, maybe this is like, oh, I have so much money, everything's Hello Kitty.
But also, why'd you choose Hello Kitty? Like, you didn't even choose, like, Batmaru or whatever the
Yeah.
fucking scary one was.
Yeah. And you're like 34 years old.
And you're a man.
I don't get it. But anyway.
I mean, if you're a man that's trying to, like, be intimidating, I don't think Hello Kitty was the way to go.
But maybe he wasn't bringing people back that he'd like to intimidate to his apartment.
Except for her.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a chick. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe
I
she's
guess.
been there before. Who fucking knows? But this...
Also, his henchmen are going in there. Like, I feel like you're going to lose credit or
They're like, I
clout.
really love what you've done with the place.
Right? Is this a new spatula?
I love that it's in the shape of Hello Kitty's face.
That's funny. Do the ears get caught on the corners of things?
I love that it's hot pink also.
That's ridiculous.
I have no idea why this was a thing.
Okay.
But the 3 men were drug lords, like I said, so they were obviously doing drugs. And they were getting high on ice, which is crystal meth.
Oh, good. Thank you for clarifying.
Yep. I had to look it up even though I watch a shit ton of Intervention, so I should have just known that off the top of my head.
No, it's probably best that you don't.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. So these guys would get high, and then they would start beating on Fan.
Oh, no.
And they decided to abandon the idea of making her a sex worker and instead thought that it was a good idea to keep her captive and torture her.
Fuck.
For their enjoyment.
Fuck, no.
I just want to warn you.
I mean, that's both torture, but...
I know. But I just want to warn you that I don't know if it's because I'm pregnant or what, but it like really grossed me out to write the story. So it's not a good one.
Great.
It's kind of gross.
Thanks for that.
And it made me not feel good.
Okay.
Again.
I'm ready.
Okay.
On a frickin' Sunday.
On a Sunday. On a Sunday.
Have these thoughts in my head.
But I also like find these ones like captivating. It's like I've got a morbid curiosity.
Yeah. I think it's sickening the thought of like who does this to these people. Like, why does this give you pleasure?
How the fuck did you even think of some of this stuff is where my head goes to.
Yeah.
And then also what I do though is like I overthink it. Like your axe murderers in the previous episode.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh God, like when you think about what that really means.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, that's too much.
Yeah.
So I think I do a pretty good job at like not going that deep, and then every once in a while I do go that deep, and then I get all fucked up over it.
I feel ya.
Okay, so it turns out Chan had a 13-year-old quote-unquote girlfriend living with him.
Oh, well, that's where all the Hello Kitty
I was going to say, maybe that's why like he was like trying to impress her, but she's 13. You don't have to, right?
Yeah, but also maybe she was like, I love Hello Kitty. And he's like, baby, you will not believe what I have in store for you.
I have decorated my entire apartment just to your liking.
Yeah, or maybe, I mean, obviously he's a pedophile, right? So maybe he was trying to like get little girls.
Oh, gross.
Like maybe that was his fucking hook line.
And, yeah, hook, line, and sinker.
And then he sinker. Gross. Sorry.
Okay, so this 13-year-old girlfriend, she claims that on one occasion, Chan had kicked Fan at least 50 times. And this girl, whose name is protected from all of the reports and everything, so I'm just going to call her the girlfriend. She even admitted to beating Fan herself and, like, slapping her in the face and, like, crushing her hands and weird shit. Yeah. But I don't know if she was, like, forced to do it or if she partook in it just because it was, like, you're scared, or if she was like, yeah, this is fun.
I was going to say, I think that's, like, a fine line.
Yep.
Because being forced to do it versus like if I don't do it then they're gonna like
do it to me,
turn this on me or something is almost the same.
Yep, I agree. So the 3 men and the girlfriend would melt plastic straws. And they would let it drip onto Fan's feet.
Ow.
And then they would pour scalding hot boiling chili oil over the burns to inflict more pain. How do you think of this? Like, who was like, I have some straws and a lighter, I've got an idea.
Yeah.
And then also, you know, it'd be fun is to boil some chili oil and pour that on her. Like,
why?
First of all, it's boiling oil, so it's going to burn you. And then plus it's chili oil on some already inflicted wounds.
Well, and it's already on burns. You know how if a burn gets like under warm water, you're like, why is it so hot?
Oh my God.
Holy shit.
How the fuck do you think of this shit?
Was it on her bottom of her feet?
Yeah, it was on the soles of her feet.
Oh, that sounds awful.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you can't even walk away after that.
I know.
That sucks.
Fan would be tied up with electrical tape and hung from the ceiling.
Oh my God.
And everyone would take turns beating her with metal pipes.
Holy shit.
And various objects until she would be bloody and severe, like have a bunch of several broken bones.
Oh my God.
Yeah. She kept this, like the articles kept specifying like broken bones in her hands.
Oh.
I don't know why. Maybe like to keep her from escaping or anything, or maybe those bones break easiest.
I don't know.
I don't either. They would leave her then hanging on the ceiling and would play video games and continue to do drugs with her just hanging there, like passed out bleeding.
That's awful.
Right?
This poor fucking girl.
I know. This part is weird. They tore and electrocuted her genitals.
Ugh! Oh, no. No.
I don't know what that means.
I don't want to know. Next.
Okay.
Go on. I don't want to know.
And then they bit at her breasts.
Oh,
They would. I'm so sorry, guys.
God.
I picked it. It was like Hello Kitty, and the main headline, which I haven't even gotten to. I was like, that's really weird. And then as I dug, I'm like, all this other deeper shit, and I'm like, this is gonna be hard to talk about.
Jesus, yeah.
They would urinate into her mouth.
Hmm.
And in one occasion, the 13-year-old girlfriend was made to defecate into a shoebox and feed the human feces to Fan.
No. No. No.
What
No.
the fuck?
First of all,
Yes.
that's torture for the little girl, too.
Yes.
Because no one actually wants to be that close to their own shit.
I'm gagging. No.
Like, that's...
And then you have to think, too, like, I don't know when this happened, but it's not like this lady's getting bathed or showered or anything. So once you smear feces on somebody, it's going to be there.
Yeah, until you piss it off.
Oh my God, I didn't even think of that. That's so gross.
It's like getting a poo fleck off the toilet.
If you're a dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't get that advantage.
No. That's an awful thing to say, though. Sorry.
So this went on for at least a month until Fan began to start like fading in and out of consciousness. And then one day the girlfriend comes home and discovers that Fan had died.
Oh my God. Fucking thank God.
Yes, seriously.
Poor
A
girl.
month.
Poor girl.
A month with these weird people. So this is mid-April now.
Okay.
And the three men decide to drag Fan's body to the bathtub, and they use a saw to dismember her, and they wrap up her body parts in newspaper and they freeze it.
Okay.
Now, they have all these body parts, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they have to get rid of them. But they decide that they don't want to just like throw it away because you'll smell the decaying flesh. So they decide they're going to boil all of her flesh and meat
Gross.
and cook it and then throw it away in the trash so that they won't alarm anyone with the smell of decaying flesh. It'll just be
Okay.
like beef or something.
Yeah, meat.
Yeah. So they start boiling her body parts.
Ugh.
They often cooked their own meals alongside the cooking body parts. Like one burner they're boiling her, the other burner they're making some fucking rice or
That's-
whatever.
No.
And then one account said that they used the same utensils that they were cooking
No.
dinner with, and they would stir their food and then stir her
No.
and then go back to their food.
That's
I don't know.
unsanitary.
I don't know if that's true. I don't know who would admit to that. I don't know how they got that information. But what the actual
yeah,
fuck?
like what kind of interrogation was this?
I have no idea. I don't know. Yeah.
Did you get another spoon? No.
No, I used it.
I used the same spoon.
Ugh, I have no idea.
That's fucking awful.
So what they would do with this cooked meat then is they would either throw it in the trash, they would give it to stray dogs, or they would put it in soup and give it to the homeless.
No.
Again, I don't know if this is true, because who the fuck would admit to that? But what? What?
Those poor homeless people.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Do you think after a while they were like, I don't want whatever it is that you're serving? It's
Your
not
soup
good.
sucks.
Yeah.
Tastes like poop.
Oh God.
Yeah. So one of the men then take Fan's head and they boil it till all of the flesh and the meat cook off and they're left with just her skull.
Okay.
Then for some unknown reason, Chan ripped open the head of one of his giant stuffed Hello Kitty dolls. It was a
What the
mermaid doll.
fuck?
And he sewed the skull inside of the stuffed animal.
What the fuck?
This is the whole reason I picked the case, because that was like the headline. And I was
That's-
like, I'm sorry, what?
Psychotic.
What the fuck? Why?
That's psychotic.
Why? Why would you do that?
Well, because he's a psycho.
Yes.
Also, I don't know, man. That doll's fucking possessed now. Like, you're just gonna keep that shit in your house?
Yeah, why would you keep that?
No, you don't want that shit in your house.
No. He kept it.
That's bad fucking omens.
Yeah.
And
shit.
the little girlfriend, like,
yeah.
you might like everything Hello Kitty, but then you kind of desecrated a Hello Kitty thing with a fucking human skull.
Oh my God. Have no freaking idea what the motive, what the purpose, but he did it. So then
How did they find that?
I'll tell you.
Okay.
So then the three men, they continue on their life as if like nothing had happened, right? They feel no guilt over this.
Yeah.
But the 13-year-old, she starts to feel like a lot of guilt.
Yeah, because she's 13.
Right? And she's like, my Hello Kitty doll
Is fucking possessed.
You're not far off with that statement.
Oh my God.
She started having nightmares, and she believed that Fan's angry spirit was torturing her when she would sleep.
Yeah, it probably fucking was.
I know, right? And that she needed to notify the police for her dreams to stop.
Yeah.
So she goes to the police, and she's like, yo, some shit went down in this apartment, and she tells them all about the crime, and they almost don't believe her. Like, it's so far-fetched that they're like, you're just making shit up. But the police go to the apartment, which had since been abandoned, like they had left and moved somewhere else.
Did he take all of his Hello Kitty stuff?
I don't know, because the pictures look like this place is in shambles, but all the articles make it sound like this guy was really well off.
Yeah.
He had a lot of money, and it was really lavish with all this Hello Kitty stuff. So I don't know how much longer it had been before they had come to the apartment, but it kind of looked like messy and dirty. Anyway, they go to the apartment, and they search it, and they end up finding one of Fan's teeth, some internal organs.
What? Where were those?
I don't know. One article I read said that they put it in a plastic bag and then threw it out the window, and that it landed on like the canopy to the shop below the apartment.
What?
But I couldn't find that article again. I had read it and then didn't save the article, and I couldn't find it again.
Yeah.
And it just said that they found some of her internal organs.
What the fuck?
Yeah, a terrible way to get rid of the body, by the way.
Yeah. Also, if you're under one of those awnings, you'd be like,
what's that smell?
well,
What's that up there?
Assume it didn't smell. Assume it didn't leak because it's in a plastic bag. But like, you would see like the shadow and hanging down of like something's on the roof. Or,
Maybe.
like, something's on the awning.
What if it's like a metal awning, though?
Maybe.
I was thinking like a canopy one, but...
Yeah, I was thinking like, outside of hotels or stuff.
Yeah. With the little like
It's just canvas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Canvas with the, what is that called? Like scalloped edges.
Yeah, little frilly things.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay, so they also find her skull, which was sewn inside of that Hello Kitty doll.
Okay, so he at least left that there.
He left it, and it corroborates the girlfriend's story. So
Yeah.
the police are like, whoa, you
Well, so
didn't
does the
make this
fucking
up.
tooth and intestines, but
Yeah, but I mean, when they say like, he sewed her skull into a doll, you're like, what the fuck? You're being crazy.
like, no, he didn't. You crazy person.
But he did.
That's fucking. Ugh.
Yeah, so the three men are arrested, obviously, and the girlfriend was given immunity from prosecution in exchange for testifying against the three men.
She better hope they stay in prison for fucking ever.
Right? And this is the reason we know everything that happened is because of this girl, even though she participated in some of it. But it's crazy that she got, like, full immunity.
Yeah, but also she was 13.
Yeah, and
like, if she
how
were to
willing.
get anything, I'd be like, it's got to be like a light-ish sentence, you know?
Yeah, and then, like, to call her a girlfriend, she probably was forced into it.
Yeah.
I don't know for sure, though.
I don't know. Maybe her parents owed the mob something.
Oh, God, that's terrible.
She's 13.
Yes.
Where were her parents?
Oy.
You said she returned home to this guy's apartment?
Yeah,
And
he
she
lived
lived
with
there?
with him. Yeah.
That's not my 13-year-old kid's not living anywhere but my house.
That's right.
God damn it.
So all three men denied killing Fan and said that she had died from a drug overdose, which she administered herself.
Uh-huh.
But they did admit to preventing her from getting a lawful burial, which I guess is a criminal charge in Hong Kong.
Okay.
During the trial, the three men all blamed each other and minimized their own role in the torture.
Of course.
And because...
Wait, are they admitting to torture being done then?
Well, I guess when it's like being brought up, they're like, oh, no, I didn't do that. Maybe it was this guy that did that, but I didn't do that.
Yeah, okay.
So perhaps. Because of the way that the three men had disposed of her body, a medical examiner couldn't confirm her cause of death.
Yeah.
They couldn't really say, like, did she die of a drug overdose or did she die from being beaten to death? Because of this fact, the jury couldn't find the men guilty of murder, but they did convict the men of manslaughter, and they were sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole after 20 years.
What?
So this happened they were convicted in 2000. So next year
They'll be up for parole?
they will be up for parole.
They're not going to get parole, though.
I don't know, but what if you're that girlfriend?
Fuck that. She has to have a different name, live in a different
She
fucking
better be,
place.
yeah. Whoa, and
That's
no traces back to her.
insane.
Isn't that crazy? Who the fuck does that?
That's insane. This poor girl and her poor little boy and her poor family.
I know, and I guess her husband was saying in one of the articles, like, she used to do drugs and everything, but she cleaned up when she got pregnant, and she never went back to it, like, claimed that she was, like, clean and living the good life. Like,
Yeah.
she didn't deserve what happened to her. Well, obviously, she didn't deserve what happened to her, but
No.
it's still kind of unclear to me, like, when she took the wallet.
Yeah.
Or do you think, what if it's like he left the wallet at the nightclub, and so she was like, oh, I know who this belongs to, and he looked at it as, like, stealing or something.
Yeah.
But
Ugh.
all the articles said she stole it to support her drug habit.
Which isn't far-fetched for someone who's addicted to drugs to
Yeah.
steal.
Absolutely not. But, I mean, maybe she was, like, drugged when she did it, because you would think, I'm not going to do it to a drug lord.
Yeah, that wouldn't be my top
And then
fucking
she
pick.
paid him back. Like, oh,
Sorry about it.
yep, I was high.
Yeah, and then with an extra $10,000, like,
Yep.
I don't know, man.
Isn't that wild?
That's insane.
All right, give me your story.
Oh, goddamn. Well, keeping with my parent theme of spoiled children turning on their parents right now,
Uh-huh.
because my last week's one was also about that, I have another one for you.
Okay, everybody, this is a warning not to spoil your children.
Yeah, don't fucking spoil your kids.
They'll come back and kill ya.
They might, as soon as you unspoil them. So this takes place in Turtle Bay, New York.
Ooh, Turtle Bay.
Mm-hmm.
Your last one was in New York also.
Yeah. Apparently, people in New York
Are
really
spoiled.
don't spoil your kids because bad shit happens. There's a man named Thomas Gilbert and his wife, Shelley Gilbert, and they had like a picture-perfect life with their children, Thomas Gilbert Jr., basically.
Uh-huh. Basically.
He goes by Tommy,
Uh-huh.
and Claire Gilbert. Tommy was a 34-year-old man at the time. He was diagnosed with a bunch of mental disorders, including anxiety, paranoia, depression, obsessive-compulsive disorder, and apparently they got worse as he reached adulthood.
I think we all have all of those.
Yeah,
Okay.
right?
Uh-huh.
My fucking goddamn was about paranoia. But in adulthood, he suffered from schizophrenia and bipolar disorder.
Okay, we don't all have those.
No, those are a little more severe.
Yeah.
But he had a good childhood and he was raised in privilege. His parents had put him through college at Princeton University.
Ooh, shit.
Yeah, and they were paying him an allowance of $1,000 per month.
I wish I had this life.
I'm sorry, $1,000 per week.
Oh my God, I really wish I had this life.
Yeah.
I want an allowance again.
I want an allowance
But
too.
not from like my husband.
No. Like from my parents, but
Yeah.
also
Yeah.
not really because I like being able to support myself.
That's true, but God, wouldn't life be nice?
Yeah, $1,000 a week. Like,
I don't even know what I would do with my hands.
yeah, I don't either. And they were paying for his apartment.
Oh my God, so this
So,
guy.
Yeah.
All right.
His dad, Thomas Gilbert, was 70 years old, and he had founded a hedge fund in 2011, and so he was a really wealthy man.
Yeah.
He and his wife were well known in wealthy Manhattan circles.
Ooh.
Yeah, and she was a like former debutante, so she came from she came from money too, and they were both like fucking the people to be in Manhattan.
I want to meet just one debutante.
I could say I'm a debutante.
I won't believe you.
I'm not, but I'll say it for you. Tommy's parents wanted him to seek psychiatric help, so they agreed amongst themselves that they were going to cut his allowance by a few $100s a week, and they were going to stop paying his $2,400 a month rent.
Holy smokes.
Yeah.
That's my mortgage.
Fucking right? So Tommy attempted to buy a .40 caliber gun in May of 2014 by responding to a Facebook ad.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so he knows now. We're cutting your allowance and all this shit. Was there motivation like cut your allowance and go seek help
Yeah.
and then we'll give you your money back?
I didn't see anything about giving the money back, but they were basically like, dude, you need to like
Grow
support
up.
yourself, grow up, get help. Like,
Yeah.
you need to become a functioning member of society.
Got it. Okay.
So he went to go buy this gun
On Facebook,
on
as
Facebook.
you do.
And the man selling the gun was in Ohio, and he didn't want to ship it to New York.
Yeah.
So he was like, heck yeah, a buyer, but also I don't want to ship it to New York.
Yeah.
So then Tommy said that he would drive to Ohio to pick up the gun because he
What?
had free time in the coming weeks.
Well, I'm sure he didn't have a job or anything.
Right?
But also, like, why not just find a gun closer to home?
I don't know.
Like, go to a gun store.
I don't know what New York's laws are on guns
Oh, I don't either.
and things, but like in Arizona, you can literally just like go buy one.
Yeah.
In California, you have to wait like 10 days or something, and they do background checks and all that.
But you can still just go buy one.
Yeah, you can still go buy one, but they have to do like background checks. So maybe he didn't want to go through all of that because private sellers don't have to do background checks.
Oh, and maybe he had, like, on record that he had the psychiatric issues?
Maybe, yeah.
Okay.
Which I still don't know if that matters in America yet.
Oh, I don't know either. I just assumed it did.
I think like felonies and stuff matter. I don't think
Okay.
that like mental problems do. Although
Oh.
they should.
Yeah.
That's like the main problem right now.
Yeah.
But that's a story for another time.
Yeah.
So the seller was pumped that Tommy was going to come all the way to Ohio.
Yeah.
He agreed. And then when Tommy got to the seller's house, he said that he was there for about 30 minutes and that Tommy was ecstatic the whole time.
Really?
Yeah, he said he was, quote, talking to the room.
Uh,
Yeah, he would say things like, I can't believe what a great deal I'm getting. Like, as if there was someone else there.
what?
Yeah.
Why would you sell this guy a gun?
He later came out and was like, if I had known he was psychotic, I wouldn't have let him into my house.
Yeah, let alone sell him a gun.
Let alone sell him a gun. But also, like, I think I'd be kind of nervous to go back on a gun deal with a person who I just handed a gun to.
Yep.
Who had driven however, like, far Ohio to New York
get it?
is. Yeah. Like, I might be a little bit nervous about that. So he's probably just like, as long as I get out of this, I'm hoping for the best, right?
Yeah, yeah.
He was also, like, showing the gun off to nobody, like, in the room, like, wow, check this out, you know?
Was this guy just observing Tommy in a room?
I mean, he was like, here's the gun, and the guy was like, look at this great deal I'm getting, and, like, just, you know how, like, you're
Yeah.
a Craigslist deal or whatever, you have to, like, awkwardly stand there for, like, 5 minutes until you're like, all right, bye.
Yeah, I got my goods. See you
Yeah.
later.
But he was there for 30 minutes, like,
Weird.
hanging out and
Yeah.
talking about the gun. And the seller also sold him a holster and ammo. And before he left, the seller asked Tommy if he wanted to shoot it a couple times in his range at his home.
Oh, God.
But Tommy said no, and he seemed to just want to leave at that point.
Okay, the seller really went the extra mile.
Yeah, right? He originally didn't want to admit that he had sold him ammo.
Uh-huh.
But, I mean, he eventually had to when he was, like, on trial or,
Yeah,
you know,
like
for
came
it.
out and said everything.
Yeah. But he's like, well, fuck. Like, I already sold him the
The gun.
spoiler alert,
Yeah,
murder
the
weapon.
murder weapon.
Yeah. And so he didn't want to, like, sell him the murder weapon and the ammo.
Yeah, that actually caused the murder.
Yeah. I mean, this isn't really the seller's fault, but also you shouldn't be able to just buy a fucking gun on Facebook.
Yeah, that's kind of scary.
Yeah.
From some guy in Ohio.
Yeah. Who knew? So then an ex-girlfriend came forward and said that Tommy and his father had always had a strained relationship and that Tommy never thought he was good enough for his dad.
Aw.
And Tommy also never held down a steady job.
Yeah, clearly. We know that part.
Yeah. He had apparently told people that he was starting his own hedge fund, but showed no real interest in working at it or anything else.
Uh-huh.
The ex-girlfriend also said that a friend had warned her that Tommy would, quote, chop her into little tiny pieces.
Oh, that's something I would say to you.
Exactly.
Like he's going to wear your skin in the streets.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So obviously other people also thought that he was a bit off of his rocker.
He's got a 1,000-yard stare.
Yeah, like that guy's gonna fucking...
Kill someone someday.
Yeah, he's gonna chop your body into tiny little pieces.
Oh my gosh.
He had also been arrested at one point during his time in Princeton for cocaine possession and mushrooms.
Oh, shit.
And when he was in the hospital after being admitted high, he attacked a nurse and headbutted her.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's a tough day for the nurse.
Fuck, man. Can you imagine? You're like,
No.
are you kidding me? I'm just trying to give you fluids or
Yeah,
whatever.
go away.
He was
suck.
charged with third-degree aggravated assault for that.
Okay.
Also, in 2013, Tommy was living with his friend, and he was growing more and more aggressive.
Uh-huh.
The friend said that he was aggressive when talking about his father and when anyone showed an interest in his ex-girlfriend, Lizzie Frazier.
Oh.
I don't know who that is, but they named her by name, and I was like, I wonder if she's famous. And then I didn't Google her. Because he's like a, not celebrity, but
Yeah.
like, you know, debutante,
the
fucking socialite,
elite.
whatever.
Yeah.
Exactly. So the friend asked him to move out, and Tommy didn't like that.
Uh-huh.
So he attacked him in the street
Oh.
and hit his head repeatedly on the sidewalk and broke his nose.
Shit.
Yeah. He was given a restraining order against his friend, but violated it less than a year later by approaching his old friend at the beach and threatening him.
Oh my gosh.
The friend then only mentioned the beach incident to the police a month later when his family's historic Sag Harbor home was broken into and burned down.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
This guy has some ragey issues.
Well, he wasn't charged with this.
Yeah.
So we don't know if he actually did this one yet or not.
Okay, but still.
Tommy was a person of interest in this arson.
Uh-huh.
And a neighbor had seen a man standing in a graveyard watching the house burn.
What?
And later, police found gasoline-soaked rags where the man had been standing.
Okay, so it was the culprit.
Yeah, so that was the culprit. And I don't know if it matched. They didn't say if it matched his description or anything like that.
Interesting. How ominous to stand in a graveyard and watch the house burn.
How creepy to have a graveyard fucking across the street from your house.
I know. Well, in Virginia, they have a lot of them.
They're everywhere on the East Coast. Like, you
Yeah.
literally can't go down a street without being like, oh.
There's a graveyard. I remember
there's
playing in
one.
them all the time.
Yeah, I always look for, like, the oldest graves. But 4 months later, on January 4th, 2015, Tommy went to his parents' apartment, and his mom answered the door, and he told his mom that he wanted to talk to his dad about business.
Uh-huh.
And so his mom thought this is a great idea and would be good for both of them, so she left them alone. Like,
Okay.
she left the apartment.
All right.
Apparently, she had a bad feeling shortly after this and returned to the apartment. And she went up to the door of the room that they were in and heard silence, and so she got concerned and opened the door.
Oh, God.
She found her husband laying on the floor with
Oh,
a
no.
gunshot wound to his head,
No.
a gun on his chest under his hand, and he was laying in a puddle of blood and brains.
Oh, my gosh. So, to look like a suicide because he had a gun in his hand?
Yep.
Oh.
Nothing said that they tested for gunshot residue,
Yeah.
but also in close proximity, I've heard that it can get, like,
Everywhere.
everywhere.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I didn't hear if they tested for it or not, but also it wouldn't be odd if they found it near him.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But wouldn't it be, like, more concentrated on the hand that shot it?
Yeah, you would think.
Okay.
So, Shelley calls 911, obviously.
Yeah.
And when they ask her if she knew who had shot her husband, she said, "Yes, it was my son. He's nuts, but I didn't know he was this nuts."
Oh, my God. That's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Also, you can listen to the 911 call.
No.
They ask her to start, like, doing CPR and stuff, but she hadn't said that he had been shot in the head yet. Like, they hadn't figured that part out yet. And they're like, okay, you know, start CPR, we're doing this. And she's like, okay, I've seen, like, medical shows before. Like, I know what you're asking me to do. Because, you know, they're like, put your hand at this point.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
do
my
that.
God.
And then she was like, I just think he's dead.
Ugh. Like,
Yeah.
there's no, yeah.
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 And they're like, why, basically? And she's like, he was shot in the head. And then the other, like, there was 2 911 operators on the phone.
Uh-huh.
It was, like, the 911 operator and then, like, a medical helper person.
Uh-huh.
So then the 911 operator comes back and is like, sorry, what? Do you know who shot him? And that's when she was like, yeah, it was my son.
Oh, my gosh.
So the police arrest Tommy soon after in his apartment.
Yes.
And they find hollow point bullets, a laser
Oh.
gun sight, handcuffs, a credit card skimming device,
What?
and 21 blank credit cards.
Weird.
Yeah. His trial...
How do you get a blank credit card?
I have no idea.
Interesting.
Yeah. His trial is literally ongoing right now.
Really?
So I don't have a final sentencing for you,
Oh, my gosh.
but apparently he's mentally unraveling in the courtroom.
Well,
Well,
I'm
during
not
his
that shocked.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, during his trial, he continually yelled objections. During his lawyer's questioning of prosecution's witnesses.
What?
So, like, his lawyers are out there,
Helping him?
yeah, trying to help him, and he's like, objection!
Oh, I love it. Is it televised? We need to watch this.
I don't think so. That would be great. He was originally found competent to stand trial, but after all of his outbursts, his lawyers had to stop the trial and ask the judge to order a new mental health evaluation, right?
Wow.
Because they're like, fucking, he said,
He's crazy.
he said, he's affirmatively undermining and sabotaging my ability to defend him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, he's just being fucking insane.
Yeah.
And so the judge denied the request, saying that Tommy knew what he was doing.
Oh, like that he's doing it on purpose.
Yeah. She did, however, have him removed from the courtroom. I don't know if it's, like, for the remainder of the trial or if it was, like, a day or two.
Like, we'll bring you in when we need you.
Yeah. They're actually making a movie about this whole story, and it's being produced by Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
What the fuck,
That's
right?
crazy.
Yeah.
How weird that he had, like, blank credit cards.
Yeah. Like, he obviously had some little racket going of stealing, I don't know,
Shit.
credit cards, money,
Identities and
stuff like
stuff?
that. Like, first of all, he hadn't been without his allowance for that long.
That's what's so crazy. It's like, why is he doing this?
And second of all, he's still getting an allowance.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
just lowered it by a couple $100 a week,
That's crazy.
which is still a fucking couple
Sweet
$1,000s
deal.
a month.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that's insane to me. I can't even imagine. I just can't imagine. I don't know. If I also had my job and then my parents were giving me $1,000 a week, I would be like, what do I do?
Yeah. What do you
Like,
need me to do?
I can't buy enough stuff for this.
Yeah. Yeah. What do I do with all
I
this
just
money?
put it in the bank. Like,
Yeah.
thank you. But
wow.
keep
So
it.
I wonder what like triggered him all of a sudden to like, I've got to go kill my dad, other than the like allowance changing. But it seems like that seems like something that would happen like the moment you find out, you get mad and you act.
Yeah.
But like if it had been happening for a while,
But they might not have told him in person.
maybe.
Yeah. I don't know.
Well, goddamn.
Yes. But there's your lesson, guys. Don't give your kids allowances.
And don't buy guns off of Facebook. No, don't sell your guns on Facebook.
Don't sell guns on Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that guy, I'm sure, is dealing with some
lot of
fucking
shit.
emotional stress.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
That's actually really sad.
It's super sad.
Yeah. Your own fucking father.
Yeah. And that mom went on trial and she was against her son. So,
Yeah,
my
'cause
previous
she
case, I
knew.
think she was like defending him. Or
Yeah.
not- I don't remember if she actually went on trial to defend him, but she was like, didn't think that her son had done it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this mom is like, nope, hell no.
He did it.
F you, right in the A.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's a lot of letters you just said there.
I know. You all know what they meant.
We all know what they meant. Well, shit.
Yeah.
On that wonderful note.
Sweet dreams.
Drive safe.
Yeah.
Drive fast, take chances.
Drive fast with your eyes closed.
Yep.
Don't do that.
No. Stay safe.
Stay safe out
Hey,
there.
everybody. Just be nice to each other.
And don't give your kids allowances.
Yes.
Or give it a reasonable allowance until they're a reasonable age.
Yeah.
Like, until they get a job.
We'll take that.
Yeah.
All right. If you guys want to check out pictures related to our cases, go to our website, isgdpodcast.com. Also, we have links to our merch and Patreon there.
Oh, yeah.
We got another Patreon that just came out, so go check it out.
Oh, yeah.
As little as $1, you can support
Get
us.
some
and
sweet extra content.
yeah, yeah. Do all that jazzy, fancy stuff.
Yeah.
You can email us suggestions at isgdpodcast@gmail.com. Or if you just want to say, what's up, baby?
Mm-hmm.
You can email us there or reach out to us on social media at ISGD Podcast. We're on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.
Yep. You can send us some mail.
I always leave this one to you. I don't know our P.O. box.
I was wondering earlier, I'm like, I wonder if she's remembered it by now. Like,
Nah, I never listen. As soon as you say it, I'm like, do.
just fucking monkeys in the head.
Yep.
Well, our P.O. box is P.O. Box 2764, Spring Valley, California, 91979.
Yeah, mail Erin some shit.
Yeah, I haven't gotten any shit in a while. But don't mail me literal shit. I really don't want that.
No, that's like biological warfare.
Yeah, I would not be pleased.
Yes.
But I will be pleased with letters,
Uh-huh.
pen pals,
Yep.
fucking whatever else you want to send. Ominous keys to something that I don't know what they open. That'd be pretty cool.
That would be kind of cool. We could start a key collection.
Yeah, I'll hang them on the wall.
Yeah, I like it. Also, don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review us. We appreciate those.
Mm-hmm.
And send us some goddams. We don't have any goddams this week. We
Oh,
didn't have any
yeah.
last week either. All right, guys. Until next week.
Bye.
Bye.